Welcome to Jason's new house. He moved. Anyways.
Hey guys, welcome back to Out of the Blue. Things have been kind of going fast. We've introduced the third.
Hello.
Today we have Anna on the podcast. Anna is a dear friend of ours from uni. Why would you laugh?
Come on.
You're making her uncomfortable.
Okay, go ahead. Anna is
A dear friend from university. I didn't like Anna at first, actually.
the truth comes out.
Yeah, that's the truth. And Anna, that's the reason why you wondered why it was so quiet. You didn't know if I liked you or not, right?
Yeah. And the answer is no.
No, you know why? It's because I don't like people who are nice.
Oh, so you liked me?
Huh?
So what does that say about
You're
me?
not really nice. You're not really nice. Like, Anna is nice to everyone she sees. Everyone thinks she's nice, and I'm like, fuck you. So
no, you liked me because you and I are the same.
Yeah, we are the same.
And we're nice, but not like we don't come off nice at first.
And you can tell right away because your face.
Okay.
The resting bitch.
Okay. And now we're rethinking bringing her onto the podcast. Moving on.
Okay, so I have a first question for Anna. Who do you love more?
Between the two of you? Go ahead.
I know the answer. If it's not the answer, I'm thinking.
I love you both equally.
Oh, that's not the answer. I was thinking you're gonna say I love you both for different reasons.
There's that too. I feel like I can go. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on here.
What is it?
I feel like I go to Jason when I have some like freaky unhinged shit to say, and I know he's gonna match my freak for sure.
That's not at all.
And then Taya is someone I can go to when I need some like inspiration, some discipline, and also like we're more aligned career wise. So I feel like I can complain about my work life more.
This is true.
And also more interest in like, I don't know, clothes. I'm like,
damn, that's all we got. Hey?
Our friendship is so
close.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like
you have different friendships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's awesome because we're all friends and we all have different things that we can contribute. But we all have the trauma of going to UC.
We all have one bonding experience, and that's doing accounting as a education.
Yeah, you see, but I don't understand, Anna. We bond on a different level. We've like trauma bonded over Taya.
Oh, what do you mean?
Taya,
super break?
Taya, this is where we gang up on you.
Yeah.
Right now.
Okay. Well, it's time for intervention.
I experienced this firsthand. I didn't know who to talk to about this, but I in my last semester, and thankfully the last semester, I had a class with Taya, and
go ahead, say what you want to say.
I started laughing like Anna also.
I'm gonna kill you. I don't laugh like that.
Taya is super competitive, and it's not competitive with anyone else. She's really competitive with herself.
Yes.
And then it comes off as if you're competitive in general. Does that make sense? So yeah, I kind of got traumatized by that. And you're so competitive with yourself. Sometimes when you are trying to discipline yourself, you say like, "Oh, I study 9 hours. I didn't study 10." And here, me and Anna are. We just wax our pussy balls. Yeah. That's all we got to do all day.
Like, I went to my eyebrow appointment.
But Jason says this, and then he's the one that does the best out of everyone.
Yeah, because
and then he lies about the score to try and make you feel better, just to find out that he lied about it, and then I'm the problem.
See, yeah, this is something you're actually learning right now, which I'm pretty proud of. It's that you don't gotta say shit; you just gotta embody it. I studied. I know. I studied. Okay, I'll go on a FaceTime call for like 2 hours the night before the exam. You just gotta embody the confidence. Same with you, Anna.
Yeah, I lack the confidence for sure, but.
I have the confidence, but it doesn't always bring the results.
I just feel like me and you are more similar in the way that we do like crash out like night before, like fuck this, like I don't know if I can swear or like
swear.
it's not gonna be good. I'm gonna fail. I feel like I've never heard you crash out. I've also never been in a class with you.
Yeah, I don't crash out because you just don't let it get to you. That's what you guys don't understand.
Like it's like he's like saying that we choose to crash out.
Yes, you do choose to crash out.
And I'm just like, okay, well maybe I'm sick in the head.
Yes.
I thought about that.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so Taya, how did you meet Anna? When did you meet Anna?
I met Anna in MGST. What was it? 217? It was 3. It was the one that came after.
Yes.
So in university, I had the class with one of my friends, and her and I were sitting together, I think, right? And then Anna walks in, is this seat taken? And I'm like, I guess it is now, girl. Pull up a chair. And then we literally just had every class after that point. And Anna now is very different than Anna back
Yes,
then.
I wanted to ask you how has she changed?
Physically, a lot.
What do you mean?
She used to be Jordan's.
Oh yes, Miss Champs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Champs. Okay.
Yeah, she was like Asian. What do you call it?
ABG.
ABG. Is that?
Yeah.
Is that politically correct for me to say?
Racist.
Yeah, she was Jordan's. Blonde hair.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah. No nose piercing.
Like
skinny jeans with the Jordans, with the hoodie, oversized hoodie. Anyways,
when did that change?
I don't really know when that changed. I feel like that changed in 2022 because I stopped working there. It's very much like when you said that you started laughing. Yeah, I started working at Aritzia, but when you said that you started laughing like me, that's like basically what happened to me. Like I stopped working on Champs, stopped being surrounded by like people like that with shoes and whatnot, and then it's like I don't know. I just
you stopped.
Yeah, I adopted a new personality, a new phase of my life.
So now, how do you feel now that you're in accounting? You're a full-time accountant now.
Oh, bad.
What's
horrible.
Changed?
Like
I need to know you guys.
I go into the office every day and I feel like crazy. Like I remember the first month I started my job, I was like, I need a tattoo because I feel crazy. I'm surrounded by like all these like middle-aged women and men, and we show up in our little trousers and our little like blouses, and we just sit on the desk all day. And it's like you have no like creative inspiration whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, personally, that's why I like accounting, because I don't have a creative mind. So I'm like, just give me the numbers, let me crunch it, and then let me be done and go home. Like, don't tell me to... The most creative I get is color coordinating my Excel spreadsheet to be like pink, purple, and blue. Other than that, there's not a creative bone in my body.
But, like,
so it works.
I feel like I need to be inspired by like people who like motivate me, you know, like I just feel like what do? They like stay up so late finishing stuff and then
that's
like crash out and go home. No, like I want someone that like has drive and they're like inspired by what they do and they like love the work they do. And I feel like we're not surrounded by people who love our work. Like they just work because they have to. You know? And I feel like if I'm not surrounded by like-minded individuals, I'm not like you, and I can't get out of bed.
I do think that the mindset of people who work in Calgary versus Toronto is very different.
That's fair.
Because in Toronto, it's like everyone has like something else that they're working towards. And I feel like Calgary is very much a city that you go to live your 5 to 9, not your 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Whereas Toronto is very like work hard, play hard. So it's like if you talk to most people, they all have like if you were like, okay, what's your 5-year plan? Almost everybody is like,
get a house.
Get a house.
No, that's what they say here.
Save up for a down payment.
That's what they
exactly.
say here.
Yeah, what is it in Toronto?
Yeah, Toronto's like, I want to move. I want to I plan to switch over into investment banking once they're just like, it's very, if you ask what's your 5-year plan, it's like the first thought's always career related, whereas here it's like, yeah, get a house, get married, have kids. Like I think that the mentality is a bit different, so maybe you need to move to Toronto. So anyways, Jason, you didn't want to join the accounting life?
No, I didn't. And actually I hang out with Anna a lot because she is also like into the art side of things, especially with movies, because that's what I do for a job. So I think throughout the months, Anna and I have gotten closer through movies. Is that I want to ask you because I actually don't remember stuff. I don't remember memories, and I feel like it's because it's always because I'm in my head most of the time when I'm making memories.
You're not present.
Yeah, I'm not present at all. Like, how did we, and how did we get close and spend more time together?
Okay, well, going back to it, we met in university, and I didn't think you liked me, but I think you were just shy. But I was like, damn, and I like knew you were cool deep down, so I was like,
deep down,
yeah, deep down. I was like, he's like, yes. And I don't really know how we started being friends. I think you started being friends with Taya, and then I remember one day for International Women's Day, you brought me a donut.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like, and I was like, wait, maybe we are friends. And then I feel like I'd always text you, and then you wouldn't answer. So I'm like, I don't know. But then you guys were kind of like besties, like at the last semester, like studying and then doing the podcast and stuff. And then I think through just like mutuals, like going to Taya's going away, I was like, wait.
That was bonding.
Similar. Yeah,
that was bonding.
And then I was like, I'll just like, I don't care. I'm just gonna keep reaching out.
One day he'll answer.
One day he'll love me back. But I think it just ended up working because I would see you like posting your story and then started working at SIF, and I was like, wait, that's awesome. And then
I didn't even get a donut for International Women's Day, so that
you were like at home or something, and then me and Stella got them.
Oh yeah, maybe I think it was I was studying at home because Stella and Anna like to study at school together, and I'd be always be like, respectfully, I'm gonna study on my own, and I'll come see you guys an hour before the exam, and that's when Anna would be crashing out, and she'd be like, wait, can you teach me how to do? And I'm like, girl, exams in an hour, I can't, like, what do you want me to teach you? I can tell you what to write on your cheat sheet, but like we're not learning it right now.
I know I'm not stupid, but it's like I'm so weak, like weak-minded, that when I start crashing out, I'm just like, oh my god, I'm not enough. Like, I don't know enough. But I do. I just, like, can't handle my emotions, and, like, I don't have the stability. But
you just, like, snowball. Like, and then it, like, you get one question wrong, and then it, like, translated into a whole thing.
I gotta ask now, Katia. Since you first met Anna until now, like, evidently, ever since, like, she quit Champs, you've seen her style, her physical change, but we didn't get into the kind of, like, change overall as a person, right? What did you see, and like what was your experience?
I kind of feel like you're the same, like you're just you, because like that's how we were friends in the first place, and that's why we're still.
What have you seen? Like, for example, Anna, her past year was pretty rough, right? Anna, you'd say, just was studying, right? But you got really good, you passed, right? And then you felt good about your recent exam, right? I think that's a real growth and kind of like mental shift, because that's really hard to endure a failure and not carry that kind of energy on, you know?
He's really calling it out. No, I feel like even, what was it, last week, where you were saying that you and Jason had a conversation about like, you need to give yourself grace and like not be hard on yourself. And just that mentality, I think, is like something you're learning and didn't always have. And like, you can't compare yourself, because you said you would compare yourself to me, but like, for example, I don't have fun. Like, you're like, oh, you always study, and I'm like, yeah, but that's all I do. Like, I have the problem if like I have to study, I feel guilty doing anything but studying. So it's like, I'm also not a good example of like what you should do, because like, for example, I moved to a new city, but I've been busy with studying, and there's so many things that I've like had on my list of, oh, I want to like go here, do this. But I don't, because I just consume myself in studying, whereas you like actually enjoy your life and have fun. So it's like, you can't compare yourself either, which I think is something that you're learning. Growth.
What have you learned throughout the years from Anna? She takes inspiration from like your work ethic, right? But for you personally, what have you like been thankful for having her for?
Honestly, just how to be a cool girl.
Yes, that's something we'll have to dive into later. How about you, Anna? You already said it, but like, how do you feel about yourself this past year?
Jason didn't tell you that this is going to be a therapy session.
Yeah, I'm being psychoanalyzed right now by these two people, and I'm just sitting here and taking it. But sorry, the question was, what was the growth?
About yourself, yeah, for the past year, or
yeah,
whenever you want.
I feel like I'm always like so comfortable of where I am, and then I get like pushed into change, and I just have to like embrace it. And I think I hate change, but I know it's necessary. So I feel like like the year before this, I moved out of my family's house. So then I was like embarking that journey, like learning how to live on my own, cooking, paying the bills, stuff like that. And then
paying
second year, paying the freaking bills. Second year, moved downtown, but then was dealing like with all my CPA stuff and just like, I don't even know. Like I thought that I would have it together by then, since I moved out the year before, but like clearly not. Like I feel like I'm always on this like journey, but
I think that's just life though.
Yeah.
And I think it's better to be that way because like if you have it all figured out, I swear your life would be boring.
Exactly.
Like it's good to have like a little bit of stress or like things that you're working towards. And also I feel like our job just does not allow you to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Because like the progression is like so fast that it's like once you finally start to feel comfortable with like your knowledge and like your position, it's like, okay, on to the next one. And now it's like you're now in charge of these whole other areas and like things that you now have to learn. So it's like our job just doesn't really let you become comfortable necessarily because it's like you're always being thrown into new things. So I don't know about you, but I feel like that also pushes you to like, deal with being uncomfortable and having to like learn new things.
Yeah. And it's hard because I feel like I say I hate change, but also when my life is the same, I start complaining. Like I have 3 weeks of vacation. I'm like, I'm going crazy. Like I have nothing to do. So it's like you can't win. Like it's like there's no happy medium. Like I think it's just like learning how to live with it, learning how to deal with change, and just like doing it.
Yeah, because Jason, Anna, and I always are like saying like us and Stella, we're always like when we're studying, we complain because we're like, I wish I didn't have to study. Like I just want to relax. I just want to rot in bed after work. But then once we're on our like off period of studying, we're like, I'm getting fat. I'm not doing anything. Spending so much money. So it's like we're always complaining about what we're not doing, which is kind of funny.
Back to your big question, like the growth for this year. I think the biggest thing I learned this year is like I'm an only child, so I feel like I lack like guidance.
Oh my God.
Come on, let me live. I am. Like this bitch has 5 sisters, and he's like, oh, this dumb bitch. She's alone. She doesn't have anybody. She's just a baby. But I just like I feel like I am weird sometimes because I don't have anyone to like go to.
I think we also all of us kind of do feel like a single child in the isolation part.
I don't.
Yeah, I say, come on.
My sister's my bestie, but what do you mean?
I thought you had like a
trauma?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't say I don't have trauma, but like I feel like at least for me and the things I've gone through in life, it's like my sister and I went through a lot of things together that like bond you. And I think if you go through things as siblings, it can either like steer you apart
Why are you so cold?
or together. What do you mean?
Why are you so like emotionless? That's crazy.
Why am I what?
So emotionless.
You're so stoic.
Yeah, it's so stoic.
I'm not emotionless. I cry all the time.
Get down my face. I would rather hear Anna about her.
Oh yeah, back to being an only child.
Okay, only child. What were you saying?
Okay, well now we're on the subject. I feel like I wish I had an older sibling. You have an older sister, and like she can teach you to do things like like do's and don'ts of high school. Like don't do this. Like don't go for like the bum in high school. Like
still did
stuff like that.
I still went for him.
But like also like my parents like don't really teach me things about like I don't know. Like growing up here is different for them, obviously. So I don't know how to navigate that. So I feel like I don't know. Going back to everything, like every aspect of my life, I feel like I need to like refer to something or learn something. So sometimes I'll be on TikTok and you'll see like stupid stuff like how to study, and you'll like follow this girl on her method on how to study, and then it doesn't work for you. Like what's that one where it's like you like study for 40 minutes and you like,
I can't do that.
Yeah, like no, I just feel like I always like go to other people to learn how to do things, and the big thing I learned this year is that I think I just need to do things my own way. Like I can't compare, and I have enough experience. Like I've been on this earth for 24 years. Like I know how I retain information and just like what works best for me. And I just
need
can't
to trust it.
Yeah,
you just need to trust it because like I said, you'll compare yourself for me, but like the way I study works for me, whereas like the way Jason studies works for him, and that would never ever work for me. So yeah, you just gotta be like trust yourself.
And like when I talk to other people at work, like they'll tell me so many different ways to study, and I'm like, this is insane that we're all like, you guys are all passing, we're all doing different things. Like that's so I'm like, you can maybe like see what other people are doing, but don't like rely on it. You know?
Yeah, it's true.
And I feel like you can use that for like every aspect of your life.
Yeah, it's true.
So that's my goal for 2025. My goal is to.
Let's talk about our goals for 2025. Jason, what's your goal for 2025?
More routine.
Yeah.
Just like we were just talking about, I think like getting up and getting your dopamine in the morning by like exercising and stuff.
And you know how else you can do dopamine?
What?
Cold plunges. It heightens your dopamine. But you don't have to do a cold plunge, but
just in the shower.
Just in the shower and then turn the water cold first thing in the morning. Don't fact check me on this because I actually just heard this from someone. But I was doing cold plunges for a while, and that's what they told me. So I think that they do know what they're talking about. But dopamine is also released through like cold shock.
So are you doing like turning the shower cold after you're done, like your everything? Or, like,
I mean personally, I'm not doing it.
Oh, word.
But just if that's Jason, if that's your goal, that's just a pointer you could try because cold shock is supposed to release your dopamine too.
Yeah, with the routine thing, I think the overall message or the overall goal with that is having some self-respect, and just so that when I talk about my day, I have something to say like, oh, I did this A, B, and Z, instead of being like, I don't know, just chilling, right? I think that kind of builds character, kind of matures. I don't know. How about you?
I'm the same. I'm definitely gonna take care of myself for 2025, and it's like having a routine, doing the little things to take care of myself to make like my day easier, like picking the clothes off the ground by the end of the day. You know, just little things.
Do you guys make your bed every morning?
Yeah, I try too.
It makes a big difference. I think making your bed every morning.
I saw this thing on TikTok where it said that there's like mites, like you can have mites in your bed, but if you leave your bed uncovered in the morning, like after you get out of it, it doesn't like foster that like humid environment like after your body is left. So they're saying like don't make your bed right away.
Someone's just looking for a reason not to make their bed, and you're the target audience.
Yeah, I'm eating it up. I'm like,
you are eating it up.
Someone shows up to my house, like my room's a mess, and I'm like, I'm just trying to prevent mites.
Like you're telling me like your sheets are all messy, your clothes are on the ground, and you're like, no, this is what prevents the mites. It's like, girl, this is what they fester in, please.
But yeah, that's what I saw. I think I'm like definitely gonna try and get my cortisol down. And
cortisol down how?
Waking up on the first alarm, but also not setting unrealistic expectations for myself. Like, just to preface, like, you go to the gym at 5 a.m, and sometimes I think about it and I'm like, yeah, I should do that, and then I'll like set my alarm for like 5:30, and then I'll snooze it, and then like wake up really fucking late, and then start my day off really bad, and I'm like, I just
like disappointed,
and it's like I just like set such a high goal, you know, like why should I be waking up at 5:30 in the morning to go to the gym?
Yeah, like if anything, it's like, okay, for the next week, I'm gonna wake up at 6:30, but like no gym, but it's like you're just gonna start waking up at 6:30, and then the next week it's like 6, and then you can work your way up to like wake up at 5:30 at the gym for 6, or you just like that's just not like some people don't operate as morning people.
Yeah,
so you just don't do it.
I think it's just like setting up a realistic expectation for myself. Like I ideally would like to just wake up at 6 and make breakfast. Like I do not need to go to the gym in the morning on a weekday, personally for me. But I don't like, I shouldn't feel like I should, you know, or want to do that. Like I just need to make achievable goals and, you know, set myself up for success is what like I'm trying to do.
That's your overarching goal.
Yeah, like be easy on myself, still like have a goal, still are motivated, looking forward to the day, stuff to do, but not being crazy and like adding like a bajillion things to my to-do list, being like, I need to get this done. Like I'm bad if I don't.
Yeah. I think my goal for 2025 is to be more strict. on myself. See, I can't even say anything without judgment. Okay, let me elaborate.
Okay.
Strict as in like if I set a goal for myself, like the daily things, I'm like pretty structured and stuff. But if I set a goal, like do it, because I can procrastinate other things. Like just I can just think of a handful of things. Like there's a book that I told myself I'd start reading on my birthday, and I still haven't. And I think I like often, even with the podcast, like not being as strict on like, okay, I need. Jason's like, yeah. I said, yeah, you need to do that. But like, okay, I have to like edit the TikToks by this day, and then I feel like I always am like, no, I worked hard today. But then it's like you still sit on your phone for an hour, so it's like you could have done it, but you chose not to, and then you just like validate yourself by saying, oh, but I was busy at work today, which is true, but it's like if I say I'm gonna do something, do it, and not make excuses for myself, or just like hold myself more accountable. And also save more money.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like your goal is like the same as mine and the opposite of mine at the same time. Like I also want to have the goals, but I just don't think that you should put like 20 things on your to-do list and be like, this needs to be done today. Like maybe you should like finish the book, and you should like give yourself like a realistic deadline. Like if you were gonna start by your birthday, give yourself a month to finish it. Or like your TikToks. To be fair, like I do scroll my phone at the end of the day. Maybe you could have pumped out one more TikTok, but you don't have to pump out 30.
No, that's true. And also, I do think like knowing I have like a break from like the studying, and then once I am studying again, it's like very much like a 9 to 5 studying. Yeah. Like I'm not doing the like working and then studying, because that drains you. Yeah. Like it actually is not healthy. Because basically for a year, so like for us, we do this and then we get a break when it's busy season, but they're like, okay, you get a break from studying, but instead you have to work 12 hours a day. So it's like you don't get a break to yourself for like at least a year. In Anna's case, it's like longer.
Yeah.
So
no break.
So it's like that's really hard to maintain. So just I think knowing that I have that break is like kind of like a weight off the shoulders.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of yourself. Like during
let's all be nice and kind to ourselves and gentle and each other, right, Jason?
Literally, I've been the nicest person all year long. Look at Anna.
Yeah, you said look at
Anna.
Anna.
She hasn't killed herself because of me.
Yeah. You said look at Anna, not me.
Yeah, it's working. I feel good. Next topic. Okay. This is something I've been thinking about because Anna did me really dirty by sending me a song, and she sent me a song by Clairo, and I remember this so vividly. I was really like offended. It was "Sexy to Someone" by Clairo. Why are you sending it to me?
Because that's my favorite song on the album.
Do I care?
You send me your songs all the time.
I thought you sent it to me because that's what you think I am. Like
she thinks
you think I relate.
Jason, you are sexy to someone.
That was my favorite song.
No, I thought you sent it because you like that song and you thought that I would like that song because I could relate to that song. But I was like, who said not sexy?
Oh, like you think that I sent it because I was like, oh, you're so ugly. Like you resonate with this. Like
or you think that she sent it because she listened to it and was like, Jason needs to know he's sexy to someone because he doesn't think that he is. Oh, this is going to go back to you saying that I called you ugly.
Did you listen to that episode? No. You probably did. Fake ass, get off. Get off.
Doesn't listen to the episodes, but then wants her feature.
Yeah, the fuck?
No.
Well, we'll basically explain this to you. Taya called me ugly. So I scroll Am I Ugly Reddit. Do you know that subreddit? Yeah. So I scroll it, right? And I told Taya that like, if you said I'm ugly, right? And then I told you, no, you're not ugly, right? That means you're ugly. But if I say, shut the fuck up, you're not ugly, right? That means you're not ugly.
But also, when do I ever, like, I don't swear. Like, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, like, I would say you're not ugly. But then he took that as, like, you just called me ugly. And then I was like, personally, I've never Googled, am I ugly? And then he was like, okay, so you're not ugly, but I am. And then, anyways, there's just a whole bunch of gaslighting.
So I say this to say is that the next topic is Anna sexy as fuck. she has this aura, this Scorpio rising aura, where it's just like you don't even know her. She's like, who's this girl? Right?
Mysterious.
So we need pointers. This is part of 2025. I need pointers.
Hey, I actually don't see myself that way.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So how are you hot?
What does it say?
I don't see myself that way because I wrote
down that you might not feel that way.
Right.
Right? So I'm just saying that the way that the prompt of the topic is that we see each other and that's not the way we see ourselves, and it's really interesting because we had this conversation a day ago. Yeah. So go ahead.
Well, I just think, like, me and you kind of talked about this, like, the worst part about, I don't even know what to say. Like, I think that I overshare a lot. Like, I'm a yapper, and especially in a nervous situation, like, if no one's speaking in the room, I'm like, okay, guys, what's going on? Or I'll overshare something really embarrassing about myself so someone else can speak. And it's like, I think the key thing to being sexy and mysterious is, like, not doing that. Like, actually being mysterious, being an enigma, and just, like, you know,
like
why is he doing that?
Yeah,
why is he doing that? Okay, but, like, you know, that's how you felt too, like, in your team at work, right? When you, like, accidentally share too much about your personal life and you're like, I'm being crazy right now, but I don't know.
I think though, like, you do give off, like, sexy girl or a vibe, like, but, like, cool girl, like, people want to know you, like, they want to know, like, what you're about.
But we were talking about compatibility. How did that come up?
Because I went on a date with someone that was my clone.
Yeah, so context again, talking about being sexy, right? A lot of people, I realized, like, for example, our friend recently got in a relationship, and we pulled up his photo. He looked just like her. And I'm like, everyone just wants to fuck themselves nowadays, right? And Anna recently went on a date with a clone with her. And not really a clone, but clone as in, like, if you replicated Anna's personality and interests.
I just learned that I thought I wanted to be with someone that, like, had similar interests to me, and, like, we could get along, and we'd want to do the same things on the weekends, you know, and, like, it would be awesome. But I think going on that date, don't get me wrong, love him, like, bestie time, but I think too similar.
When you go on a date, you don't want bestie time.
And me and Jason were talking about this, like, compatibility test we saw on a Nectar YouTube video. And I think if you were to date someone that's 100% you, or, like, compatible, that means, like, all your good traits would be there, which is awesome, but also all your bad traits are there. Which, you know, and in the way I brought up the olive theory, where I was like, you would want to date someone who doesn't like olives, if you love olives, then he can give you yours or whatever, or his. Sorry, my bad. But
and I think to add on to that, if you date someone who, like, you guys like all the same things, it takes away the interest of, like, being able to learn something from them. But you still have to have, like, enough in common where, like, you can hang out and do things that you both enjoy. But if they're passionate about something, or they have a certain hobby that you can learn from, it's cool to be able to learn something from your partner. But if you guys all do the same thing, it's like the lack of appreciation is there, because it's like you can't learn anything from them.
Yeah, really good point. And also, like, everything is subjective in the way that you shouldn't be so opposites that, like, if you're a clean person, you don't need to date a messy person. Like, that's just not a trait that no one wants to date, but there needs just to be balance, I think.
The fundamentals, I feel, need to be, like, more or less the same. Like, you are clean, they're clean, or whatever. But then it's, like, the interests and the hobbies and the things you talk about. I feel it's cool if you have, like, differences.
We didn't talk about this earlier, but I kind of was thinking it's kind of like that proximity theory, where it's like,
girl, too many theories.
There's so many theories out there, okay, but it's like we talked about it.
What is it?
Like, when you spend so much time with someone that you love them, you know, like your coworkers, right? And it's like, if you're so similar, because you, like, spend each minute of every day, like, at work together, right? And you're like, this person gets me, they know what I'm doing at work, blah blah blah. But outside of work, you would never go for that person because you guys are not alike, you don't have the same interests, and actually you realize your relationship was just built on what you guys had in common, which was work. Like, nothing else would work outside of it.
I'll give you another theory tale that I think Tail will more understand because it's actually about work, not like love work.
Yeah.
Did you know that if you they did a theory that spanned across 58,000 hours and 119 companies. Okay, what they did was they put coworkers in 25 feet range of each other, and what they found out that is if you hang around low performing coworkers, your performance decreases by 15%.
Yeah.
But if you hang around high performing, I think it was around 25% increase in your productivity. No, it was a 15% increase in your productivity, but a 25% decrease in productivity if you hang around bums.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
I think that makes sense because, like, you know how people say that you are a combination of, like, the 5 people you spend the most time with?
That's what the thing was about.
Yeah, bitch, I already knew it.
Oh, sorry.
Me working at Champs, being a little hype beast.
Yeah, hence the reason why Anna worked at Champs every day coming in with a new pair of Jordans. But the second she quit, all the Jordans are on Facebook Marketplace and they're probably still for sale. Let's be honest,
because nobody wants them.
Nobody wants her Yeezy slides. But yeah, that does make sense. But it is like kind of crazy that if you were dating someone, they spend more time with their coworkers than they do with you. How does that make you feel? Let's say you're dating someone and you know for like they're spending more time with the coworkers, like maybe a girl, and not with you, because it's true.
If he wanted to, he would, and he doesn't want to. Period. So you got to find yourself more than. Would you call that even a companion when he spends more time with his coworkers than you? I don't think so.
Work wife?
That's work.
Work wife.
What do you think?
I think there's once again like there's a good balance, and this is coming from a person that literally was cheated on with someone they worked with. Sorry, I don't know if that makes sense. They cheated on me with someone they worked with.
Yeah. The other girl was his coworker.
Oh, is that why you mentioned proximity?
Yeah, like I think proximity thing is so crazy because like even after that they didn't date, like they didn't care about each other, and it's just like the only thing that was keeping them going was they both worked there, you know. And I think that happens a lot. That's why people date at work and whatnot. But
yeah, personally, I know my husband's not at work.
Yeah, and I just feel like,
I've looked. I've done my laps around the floor, and there's no one
because they're married.
They're married, or they're just not for
not
me.
It.
They're not married for a reason. They're either married or they're not married, and there's a reason why.
Sorry, last thing, but keep losing my train of thought. Yeah, they're like what you said. If they wanted to, they would. You can still go to your work events. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't hang out with your coworkers, but there's so many opportunities where you can bring a plus one. And I think you can just tell when someone has like boundaries and they like abide by it, and some people just don't. Like, the line gets blurred and you have a couple of drinks and then it's like, oh, but this woman's here, my wife's at home nursing her baby.
Wait,
you know?
Can I just say something really crazy? One of my friends at her Christmas party, the big boss, so he's like married and has a wife at home, and someone made a comment and like the wife was not at the Christmas party, and they were like, oh, but like your wife is like so nice. Like, he was making a comment about like, oh, there's so many girls here, blah blah blah, and then someone was like, oh, but like your wife is so nice and kind or something, or caring, and then he was like, I don't need caring, like I have caring at home, I want fun. And then he's like implying like cheating on the wife, and that's so scary to me because it's like you do everything on paper right, but it's like your man still, your grown husband, you have kids together, everything is like gonna be distracted because every day there's like temptations like around the office. Like, that's so scary. I need to, like, my husband needs to be like, I don't know what job he's doing, but he needs to be locked inside. He needs to not be in the office. Jason, what do you think?
I don't know.
You need to cut that out.
It's
yeah, I gotta cut a lot of that out.
I have no opinion on this. What I'm like really thinking about is like, I don't even understand how people date around, because how do you know like what I mean by that is like, how do you know that person will be there forever?
They won't.
You know what I mean? Exactly.
But you
I'm trying to cope with that.
You'd see the signs. Like, if they were like uninterested or like not putting enough effort in, I think you'd know.
Yeah, but then sometimes you can become jaded and you put. Yeah. I think it's like what's it called? A sunk cost thing.
Yeah.
We apply it to economics, but in relationships, it's not. It's just some cost that you spent so much time with them that you can't just throw it away. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just get comfortable too, where it's like it's easier to stay in something that's not good than to like leave it and have to start over. So
the dating pool is so bad.
Yeah. Which
so
like
bad.
I think someone told me about their friend who just like dated someone just to date someone, and they asked her, why are you with them if like you're not growing, or like just you're just like there, right? And she's like, I'm comfortable. But that's crazy to hear from me personally. I don't know how people do that just to be comfortable. I feel like you got to be growing, and like you can't just like have you guys done that?
Like stay with someone when you shouldn't have just because it was easier. Taya says, I'm the queen of that. I also have a really like fun question for the both of you, because I asked this at dinner last night, which is like ties right into this topic. A little background is like I'm always single. I feel like I'm so selective, and that's like my like a con about me. Like it's really bad where I'm too selective that I don't allow myself to have these opportunities. But the question I asked at dinner last night was, would you rather be single for the rest of your life, like just like hot girl bachelorette, or like you're just a boss, like you know, you can do whatever the fuck you want and you have all this money because you're single? Or would you rather be in a relationship where you're married with kids but you guys don't love each other anymore, so you stay, but you guys cheat on each other, but it's like kind of mutual, like you cheat on him and he cheats on you, and you guys like own all these assets together, so you have like 3 vacation homes and like a boat, you know? But it's like your life is fine. You guys like respect each other, but you guys like don't care about each other in that way. But you seek these other things. Like, which one would you rather be?
I'd rather be single.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Personally, I feel like I don't know like any healthy marriages to exist. Like not a single one in my life do I look at and I'm like, they have fun and they're also stable. Yeah. And like
there's one or the other.
Like it's either like you guys raised a beautiful family and like all these things, but like you guys look bored. Or it's like they raised the kids, whatever, got divorced, and now they're like out having their fun. Like, is it actually possible to have both? Like, is it possible to like actually have a marriage or like a relationship where it's like fun, spontaneous, all these things, you keep the spark alive, but then also you're like having a family and raising kids and like doing all of that?
I think I'm a hopeless romantic, so I'm gonna say yes. And like I've seen like situations where like people grow up in like beautiful families and they're all like super healthy. Like, I mean, I don't really know behind the doors or behind the scenes, but like I believe it.
How do you think you like maintain that in a relationship?
I think it's just about finding the right person that you guys are like. I hate to say it.
I'm so doomed.
You have to find the right person, and you have to be selective, but also open-minded at the same time, because you might find the right person now, but like who you are in 5 to 10 years from now is like so different that you guys have to like either grow together or you guys need to like separate and then you need to like find someone else who more aligns with your beliefs.
I remember I was seeing a guy one time and we had a conversation about this and it like stuck to me, as he was like, honestly, I don't think in a relationship you always love the person, but you like always find new ways to love them, because it's like the person you loved at 18 is not the person that you're gonna love at 30, and like somewhere in between it's like naturally like maybe their work is like whatever, they're down, like you should still love someone obviously, but it's like you're not in love, if that makes sense. Like you'll always have love for them, but the reason why you love them changes over time because the person who they are also changes. So it's like what you love about them at one stage in their life is not going to be the same thing, so you always have to be finding like new ways to love them.
I feel like what you said about just like the whole thing is that sometimes you meet the person but it's just not the right time, and it's really that's the result.
I don't believe
right person, wrong
I don't
time.
believe that.
You might, I think so.
I only believe that if like you like have a job offer plus world.
Yeah.
But besides that, like if you're both living in the same city, like don't be using that excuse.
Because some people, it's a lot of conversations come up to like moving, kids, right? Sometimes you might spend a decade with a man and you're trying to have a kid with him. It's only when you leave and find a different partner that you miraculously have a kid. Then it's just like wrong person, right time, wrong person kind of thing.
Wrong person. Wrong person, wrong time.
Yeah, and that's why so many people just get in relationships out of timing, right? That's like they might not be the perfect pair or like the one they might feel like, right? That's why they name their kids like their ex, right? It's
that's why who named their kid after their ex?
A lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people, but maybe they don't know.
Yeah,
that's
sickening.
Yeah.
Oh god, there's too many things to be scared of.
I literally also wanted to bring that up, like taxi cab theory.
What?
So
I'm gonna get canceled.
Give me this. The thing with Anna, she whenever she walks by someone, she likes to romanticize and just come up with scenarios of like this would be our lives together, right? So this makes sense with all the theories she has.
What's taxi cab theory?
Go ahead.
It's like Sex in the City. If a guy doesn't have his light on, he's not ready to get married, but then like the next person he might date. But also,
can we just call it what it is and not call it a theory?
It's. I think you can tell that I'm chronically online, and I have these thoughts constantly in my head. But it's like, Big didn't want to marry Carrie, and then next thing you know, he dates Natasha. No reason at all. He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna marry her." Like it's just like one day they'll wake up and said, "Yeah, maybe I do want to settle down," and it's not you. Like there's nothing wrong with you. It's just them.
Because don't people say like girls marry when they find someone who's right for them, but guys marry when the time is right. Yeah. Like it doesn't matter if it's the perfect girl. If he meets the perfect girl at 22 and he's not ready to get married, he will not get married. But then at 26, if he meets someone who's like okay, he'll get married to her just because it's like that's okay, now I'm gonna get married. Yeah. Whereas girls, I think, are like, they will say, oh no, I don't want a relationship or I don't want to get married. But if they find the right guy, all of that will change for the right person. So we're so doomed. Moral of the story, we are so doomed. Another goal of mine for 2025 is to put myself up.
Yeah, you need to.
I know, I just can't be bothered, honestly. I know. I'll go on one date in 2025. One. And maybe it'll lead to a future husband, so then I don't ever have to do it again.
Yeah, if you give it a good shot. 2025, I'm going on 0 Hinge dates and I'm deleting my Hinge account.
2025, I'll go on one date.
Really?
Wow!
A blind date. It has to be a blind date.
Oh, kind of sexy. A blind date.
What would be your ideal
Whoa.
date?
Yeah, ask me.
Why not?
I never thought about it.
Okay, well, you can go.
What has been your guys' best dates? Give me some ideas. What is possible?
You first.
My favorite date is ice cream and a walk. It actually is, because it's low pressure and like you're walking, so you can like pull on things from your environment if the conversation's stagnant. Whereas like if you're at a sit down dinner, it's like, okay, what are we gonna talk about now? But if you're out walking, it's like, oh my god, look, like that kid is so cute, or like, have you been to this restaurant? Like you're like walking past things and things are happening around you that you can talk about, and it's also like short enough that like if you're not vibing, you can leave. Just like ice cream and a walk. Yeah, that would be my like go-to.
I think this is controversial. I think my go-to, I want a movie date, but only because one, it's also kind of like a cop out for you, like the same as you, where the length might be long because like you might have to sit through a 2-hour movie, but you can't talk. And then ideally, I would like to talk with them after and like debrief, and then maybe we could go for a drink and like really talk about it and have fun. But worst case, he's really weird. You could just go home. Like you already did the thing. You already went to the movie. You know?
Are you cuddling in the movie theater
on
the first date?
No.
What if you like?
Dude, that happened to me in grade 10, and he was like digging his skin into my arm, like thinking he was like drawing circles, and like he put it over the recliner, but he didn't put the recliner up. So it was like the most uncomfortable situation of my life, and it was like a 2.5 hour movie. So actually, it can go really bad, but on the off chance that it goes good, or like you can just leave after, it's fine. But I just also like feel like I need to talk to someone that's intellectual and like has feelings and thoughts.
It's like a good test. It's like,
yeah,
okay, we watched a movie, now tell me what you think.
And
it's like, if they're just like, yeah, it's okay, then you're like, I gotta go.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's perfect. Yeah. And then like maybe it's late, and then you can go home, right? So that's my favorite.
I don't know. I think maybe a combination of. I think it has to be kind of like what Taya said. You have to see what they focus on, like where their mind is at, what they think at. If they are like, if they recognize things, like I would want to be with someone who is very grateful to have time to even do this kind of thing, right? Like, your own time together is sacred time, kind of thing. It's like you don't, out of all things to do, you're doing this, so be present and like that, and also be super fucking funny. But so like, how do you do that? I think it would have to be like a date on like 17th Ave or something.
Yeah.
Something like that. 17th Ave is like a street, like just a street with shops and stuff, that you can just explore and see. But I don't know, this whole dating stuff. I mean, you guys explaining, saying your like ideal date made my stomach turn. It makes me sick to my stomach because it's scary.
I've been on like one date. Like I'm such a liar. Like I
have never ever like been on a like where a guy's like, hey, can I take you out next Tuesday? And you're like, yeah, sure. It's always been like, I'm already talking to him for like a long period of time, and we like see each other, hang out with each other, and then it's like, okay, now let me take you to dinner. But like, you're already talking.
Yeah.
So like, when I say in 2025 I want to go on a date, it's like if I say, okay, in 2025 I'm gonna go on a date, it's like you like go on a date. Like the guy's just like, what are you doing next week? Can I take you out? Yes, and then that's it. Like you don't like talk leading up to it. Ugh, that makes my stomach turn too.
It is. It's scary. But
you gotta do what you gotta do because otherwise, it's not looking too promising out here.
Nope. Dating pool getting real small.
Yeah.
Everyone getting married.
Two more people that I know got engaged within the past week that I went to high school with. So the numbers are getting smaller.
Yeah.
And then it's also like if you get to a certain age, it's like, why are you 30 and you're single?
But it's gonna be us.
I know. That's why my voice like went quiet at the end.
Like, oh, you can't judge anymore. You're like,
no. Anyways,
it's tough.
So many things to look forward to in the new year. Maybe at some point we'll do like a check-in to see how it's going.
I also think that we shouldn't be seeking. Like, I think it's bad when you're seeking. Like, you know, when you hang out with someone, they're clearly like on the prowl.
Yes.
Like that's like not my vibe either. Like, I am like a little bit concerned that I will die alone, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't need to go to the bar every night and be like, who's my pookie? Like, which one's coming home with me? Like, that's not happening.
You have so many different priorities.
Yeah, I think if you just grow and focus on yourself, the right person, you'll meet someone. Yeah, like I don't need to go on Hinge and like swipe left and right and figure it out. Like I think it will come. Like
I think that's so Black Mirror. I hate to say, but it's so Black Mirror. Dating apps are so Black Mirror to me.
I did it once and never again.
I'd be doing that shit every week when I'm drunk and reactivating, and then I go, I hate it here. Deactivate. It's
just a cycle.
Yeah,
but in 2025. No more Hinge.
No more Hinge.
Yeah.
It's just not, like, it's not how you should meet people.
I also think that it's, like, you should just, like, do your routine, whether it's, like, you go to the gym or you go to these workout classes or whatever. And if they happen to naturally be involved in that routine, then they're going to become integrated in your life seamlessly. But if you're, like, trying to force it to fit, it's like, it doesn't fit for a reason. Yeah. Anyways.
Final thought. What do you think about women who like have their men by like the balls? Like they hold it and then they twist it to the point where like the woman like he does everything she says, and that like she can be a pure dumbass and he can just be a simp. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Have you witnessed those relationships where it's just kind of destructive in a way? Like, good for you, girl, but also, holy crap, what's going on here?
We talked about this at dinner last night too, and it was kind of just like in my head. I always say that because I always say like I want a twink and like I want someone to dominate, but like I want someone that is obsessed with me and like will wanna do the acts of service and whatnot. Like actually will bow to my feet, but I will get so bored. Like we need to have like a nice like switch dynamic. Like I need someone that cares for me truly, but I don't know if I would get so sick and tired if I was constantly twisting this man's balls. I think like it'd be awesome for like a week.
I honestly think Anna loves to say she wants a Twinkie man, but she's had the opportunity once or twice, and when it's presented at her doorstep, she doesn't want him.
Yeah, like I got bored. I got bored. Like
personally, I like do not want a twink. Like I want to be dominant in every other area of my life, not in my relationship. Like I need to be like respected, and like of course it's like certain moments where it's like no, what I say is like how it's gonna go today. But it's like I feel like I want to be in control in like career and other aspects that like when I come home it's like I need to be baby.
Yeah, I get that in a way. Like you always say it to me, you're like you're such a Virgo, and it's because like I need things to be done my way. It needs to be like I'm just such a perfectionist. Like it has to be my way, or I get annoyed. And I think if I have like a Twinkie man, he'll do that for me. But which I need, but also I'm like I need something to keep me going. Like I need you to like I don't know. Also want to do things like suggest the dates. Yeah. I can't just like be the one saying what goes all the time.
With that being said, men, run away from her. Run away from her. So yeah, I was you do not. So yeah, I was over at Anna's one night and she was wrapping gifts, right? And she asked for my opinion on what kind of ribbon to use, right? And I gave her my opinion and she said it in the most politically correct way. No, I think I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. Like she didn't even.
I didn't say that. I used ribbon. You said white, and I used white.
It's because I called you out that you did it, but you were about to get your way. So yeah, watch out. That's what you have to expect to get into a relationship with Anna. But yeah, this has been a good episode. The sun has gone down since we started, and we've refilmed 2 times, but it was successful, and we'll end off the episode with the song of the episode.
The song of the podcast today is Sexy to Someone by Claro, because Jason thought I was sending him that song because I thought that he was ugly. But I just sent it to him because that's my favorite song off of Charm.
Yeah. Thank you, Anna. I don't know.